Welcome to Facebook for the Blind, your look at the downfall of Western civilization through the best memes we can find each week. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the week we like to celebrate Facebook for the Blind, a show for the visually and Facebook impaired. I'm your humble host, Eric. How are you tonight? Good. Now let's get to the news so we can get on to the funny memes. Well, everybody's talking about Boris Johnson resigning as the UK PM over there in Britain. All kinds of chaos, and not just overseas, because the conservatives in Britain held one of their own accountable, and the GOP is quaking that maybe Americans will figure out how to make them do it too. Also, in the world, Sri Lanka. If you haven't seen the Sri Lankan people protesting their government, storming the president and prime minister's residences, lounging on the beds, swimming in the pool. If you don't look at these images and just get joy, then you are on the wrong side. Shinzo Abe was assassinated in Japan, and just to show you how nerdy and bizarre my friends are, most of the conversation that people had with me about it was the design of his homemade guns. Metal pipes and black tape. Unbelievable. Yeah, not going to go further than that, but wow, absolutely crazy. There was a really strong jobs report, so Biden should be happy and getting credit, but that's not the way we do it here in America. There's rising inflation. People are still scared to death about all kinds of ramifications after Roe v. Wade has been flipped by the Supreme Court of the United States, and other things that are also coming up that look like the potential end of democracy. The July 4th shootings in Highland Park are still having massive ramifications, as well as the over a dozen shootings since then, just a week ago, because this is America and that's what we do. One tiny piece of good news that I heard was that Lindsey Graham was among many of the people who are actually being called in to testify before a grand jury. So that is awesome and fascinating. And finally, in a bit of a follow-up from a joke I've been doing the last couple of weeks, the Supreme Court, of course, decided to legalize prayer at the 50-yard line at a high school in Florida, I believe. So an activist in Florida, after I told the joke on stage a couple of times, an activist is seeking to lead Satanic Prayer at Florida high school football games. As I understand it, he has written letters to at least 60 different high schools asking to do this, and it's exactly what I said was going to happen. He'd written to more than 60 Florida schools district superintendents, and as I said, it's all fun and games until the coach wheels out a Baphomet statue on the 50-yard line for a halftime blood sacrifice. It'll happen, man. That will be so
metal.
So metal.
So fucking metal.
So metal. I would have gone out for the team in high school. If that was the situation, I would have gone out for the team, and it would have been amazing. I would have triggered so many. Hey, I don't know if I told you either. I thought about this. My jersey on the back, and they asked me what I want to be called. They. Muchas gracias. I had a couple more weird things here. Manchin is still fighting electric cars to the very end to defend his interests. It's really crazy, though. I noticed that they were like playing to the home crowd. Manchin's fighting electric cars. He's the highest funded fossil fuel money guy in the Congress. He's not.
It's his lobby. That's his crowd.
His lobby. What do you mean home? His home crowd. His business that he owns. That's crazy. Republicans.
He emerges from oil every morning.
Yeah, cool. Very much so. Here's another one that I found pretty interesting is that I already mentioned the indictment. Kinzinger, our Illinois Republican here, one of the few that I actually pay attention to what he says, has been getting death threats. And you had mentioned that Kavanaugh had gotten death threats, and it's fascinating to watch how the Republicans in Congress will leap to the floor to demand that the Justice Department take more, precautions to safeguard Kavanaugh now before it's too late. McCarthy's tweeting angrily, but Kinzinger gets death threats, and boy, there's just crickets. Just crickets coming out from the exact same Republicans like Stefanik of New York and Scalise, all of these colleagues who made such a big stink out of safety before, but not this time around. I always try to end with a fun closing. Oh, wait, I got one more here. I guess maybe. Oh, yeah. Peter Strzok. Remember Peter Strzok from the FBI? He says,
Yeah.
He says, I've defended the Department of Justice and the FBI for a long time about January 6th, but it's time for Congress to start asking questions. There are explosive assertions that Mr. Trump knew some of his supporters at the January 6th rally were armed, and he desperately wanted to join them as they marched to the Capitol, and that the White House's top lawyer feared Mr. Trump's conduct would lead to criminal charges. And this was largely new information to the Justice Department and grabbed their attention. And it's like, okay, so Merrick, what have you guys been doing? Like you weren't looking at the guns in the crowd or the calls coming from inside the house connected to the guns in the crowd. Like, what did you think this was about? You checking parking permits? I don't know. Anyway, I always try to end with some fascinating animal stories that are all heartwarming and whatnot. And look at this from friend of the show, C Cat. This is the tasseled wobbegong. That's right. It's a species of carpet shark in the family of Orectolobidae, the only member of its genus. It looks like a seaweed furred pizza with eyeballs on it, but it's opening its mouth and it's got a tongue, and it's kind of adorable. It's sort of Sigmund the sea monster, but as a pizza. And he just looks like he's
kind of a coincidence. Carpetshark was my nickname in college.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I got you. Well, this is a tasseled wobbegong. And I can picture it saying its name, tasseled wobbegong. And I thought that was the best thing ever. That was only 8 hours ago. But no, Science Alert reports that researchers have found the first example of another mammal farming its food. Now, there have been stories before about all kinds of different things that could farm. There's like ants that can farm and things like that, beetles, termites, but not other mammals. And these little guys, these gophers, they're a form of gopher, are doing agriculture, and they're growing these fun little longleaf pine roots that they grow right into their homes. They cultivate them into their homes. That's all they eat, and they never have to leave. These gophers are my new heroes. And that concludes an episode of Facebook for the Blind news for Tuesday, July 12th, 2022. Handing it off to my beautiful co-host, Michael Labune, for some funny memes.
Hi, everybody. I'm the beautiful one. Here's some memes. Starting off the wholesome round with Trash Can Paul. We love you, Trash Can Paul. You're always good for the wholesome round. He has a tweet by Black Soul who says, my horny ass cannot be a Pokemon trainer.
What?
And the first reply says, what does this mean? What do you mean by this? I can't even get through it. What does this mean? What do you mean by this? Which is exactly the fucking question. My response to this is just a black screen with a white impact font that says, what from the bottom of my heart, the fuck?
Nice emphasis.
Tyler Huckabee, at Tyler Huckabee, friend of the show, Tyler Huckabee, a new friend. We sure love you, Tyler. He says, deconstruction is not enough. I need to fight James Dobson. For those of you unfamiliar with the term, deconstruction is like the largely overused word on Twitter that describes people leaving the evangelical faith.
Oh.
Deconstruction is not enough. I need to fight James Dobson. This one's not funny, but I really do love it. It's from the Center for Prophetic Imagination, and it has a stylized picture of Jesus, and it says, Jesus did exorcisms in places of worship first. After all, that is where one usually finds the most demonic ideas.
Oh, ouch.
If you're not following the Center for Prophetic Imagination, which is up here in Minneapolis, like fucking do that immediately. They are always on point. We love you, Mackie Ashe. Toby Duncan, friend of the show, Toby Duncan says BDSM, but the safe word is that noise from Down with the Sickness. And there's a picture of Rachel Weisz, and she looks like she's in a moment of agony and ecstasy. And below her, it just says, wah.
I do not know this sound.
I can't do it. Maybe TD can do it, but wah. I don't know. You know Down with the Sickness? You got to listen to Down with the Sickness.
Okay.
Dumb Bitch Juice, friend of the show, Dumb Bitch Juice. We can't get through an episode without you. Has a picture of somebody. It's the back of a car, and it's absolutely, first of all, it's just covered in bumper stickers. One of them says, I heart gay porn. One of them says, driver is gay. I don't know what else is going on. But written across the back windshield, it says, we'll see how you feel about abortions after I fuck your husband. Dumb Bitch Juice just writes, who is she? This one, again, not funny, but I just found this so fascinating, and I thought my library friend Eric would enjoy it too. YouGov America has a poll out, and this is how Americans view flags in 2022.
Oh.
And it goes from very positive to very negative. I'll have you know, the American flag, the most popular, 60% very positive, 17% somewhat positive. Only goes down from there. Somewhat negative is 5%. I'm guessing very negative is less than 1%, which means I'm fucking special. The Betsy Ross flag, less popular with 37%. But here's where it got interesting to me. The Black Lives Matter flag is 22% very positive, 29% very negative. Okay, which is just like really important evidence here that white liberals are racist too. Okay, because there's absolutely no reason why this should be more people very negative than very positive, especially when, you know, we're split even more than 50-50. We're like, liberals make up more than half the country. We prove that every single popular election. The Gadsden flag, 21% very positive, 14% very negative. And I got to say here, listen, you've got to start recognizing these goddamn fascist flags. Because 22%, about the same amount, are very positive for a Trump 2024 flag. 38% see that as very negative. Look, what you have to understand, the Gadsden flag is just a fascist flag. They're just pro-fascism. Yeah. Trump is pro this kind of fascism. It doesn't make any sense to be like against the Trump flag, but not the overarching fascist flag. So fucking get on board. Otherwise, what you're saying is we want, some of you out there want fascism, just not Trump fascism. Yeah. Which, anyway. So, the Confederate flag, about 13% very positive, 34% very negative. My point is that 34% should be recognized in Black Lives Matter, right? Like, if you're very much against the Confederate flag, you should very much for the Black Lives Matter flag. What you see here is that what they're really against is they're against the South and they're against rednecks, but they're not. There's a faction of people here but they are not for black people. So really fascinating flag here from YouGov America. Look at the numbers and come to whatever conclusions you fucking want to. That's all I did. Very weird. This is two pictures. One of them says, wow, you grew up during the 80s? And you see there's like the Saved by the Bell background on the ceiling. There's a whole desk here that looks like a Rubik's Cube. There's E.T., a full like realistic size statue of E.T. There's just a lot of fucking cool shit. I don't know what this instrument is called, but it's like a keyboard guitar.
It's a kitara.
A kitara.
Yeah, and that woman poster on the wall is a Patrick Nagel. Very, very expensive high-end poster.
Ooh. So it says, wow, you grew up during the 80s. It's for our listeners, it's very colorful. It's very stimulating. The next picture says, no, I grew up during the 80s. And this is just wood panel walls with like shitty fucking pictures of the family on the walls and one single cross. That's like the only decorations in this house. This is about my family. I did grow up in the 80s. Our home looked like this. We did not have all this expensive shit.
Yeah, nobody had
This is my second. Yeah, that was just on TV, just Ferris Bueller. This is my second to last meme for this round. Then I'll hand it back to Eric. Trash Can Paul making a second appearance in the first round, and here we have a picture of a man who is humongous. He has huge muscles. He has kind of a barrel belly. He is wearing some hoochie daddy shorts with some monster thighs and a bald head. He's fucking huge. He's got to be a body like a extreme weight lifter or something like that.
He's a juicer.
It says he's definitely a juicer. It says when you sit on the toilet, you're connecting your butthole to a citywide network of connected buttholes. Last one for this round. It's a picture of a ham and cheese sandwich on white bread with like no sauce on it or nothing. It's just ham and cheese and bread, and it says, "This picture just got stuck to the roof of my mouth." And that's it for me for our wholesome round. Back to you, Eric.
Excellent. I am so happy to be doing my wholesome round for you all tonight as I scramble for the controls. Where are the controls? Gosh darn it. There we go. Hey, I've only been doing the show 2 years. Hey, how's it going? Right on, man. Facebook for the blind. Round one, the wholesome round for Eric, where I also deal with news that I forgot to do. Of course, Elon Musk, everybody was talking about him pulling out of the Twitter deal. In front of the show, Joe Klosik. Hey, Joe, he says, Elon Musk is pulling out of his deal to purchase Twitter for $44 billion. Experts are shocked that Elon knows how to pull out. Because this week we found out about his 8 outside children or some crazy crap, and he of course tweeted something stupid because he said he was helping with the depopulation problem, because he found out like Japan is like having fewer children, they got more old people, they're like having a population shift, and America is doing the same. We're having a lot less children, so he's like, oh, I'm gonna have more children to fight depopulation. It's like, Elon, we're on track to have 10-11 billion people on this planet. There's no population problem. You can stop.
No shit.
You can stop. We don't need you. And I kept meaning to bring out the other news story that we missed a couple of weeks ago, but did you see where his daughter's changing her name because she wants absolutely no connection to this man?
That's awesome.
I was like, oh my God. She goes, I don't want to be connected to him by name or to anything that he stands for. And I'm like, oh my God. And at first you're like, oh my God, that poor dad whose daughter said that. And then you're like, it's Elon Musk. Fuck him.
Yep.
Oh, is it the richest man in the world? Oh yeah, fuck him. Florida, this is a headline. I just love headlines that are just beautiful. Florida once again has giant calamitous snails that spew parasitic brain worms. This is the third time the state has tried to eliminate the giant snails. And we have a picture of Governor DeSantis. I saw this on George's page, and I just posted that photo editor needs a medal.
That's fucking great.
Oh my God. Have you seen these things? They're enormous. I mean, you're talking about snails that are this big. I don't even know what to compare this to. Like a child's basketball, like a coffee can. Like, they're absolutely horrifying. Anyway, yeah, so they're doing this. And here's the funniest thing too. Do you know what the governor has to do to get rid of snails? He has to embrace quarantines. So this one was getting quite a bit of play because Florida man is always good for some laughs, but Florida man versus Florida snail, that's funny. And friend of the show Meg Slay reposts Carol Molinares, who says, damn, some of us just call him Marco Rubio.
Nice. There it is. God, they have just this fucking garbage
Oh,
can full of politicians there. Like,
I know. This is as wholesome as it gets, people. This round, we've got calamitous snails that spew parasitic brainworms. That is the wholesomest thing I've seen, and it's cracking me up. Friend of the show, Jackie, posts this one, which is a picture of the fruit stripe horse and the fruit stripe colors, and it says, "This is how long my tolerance for people lasts." And it's captioned, "If you know." That one made Emma laugh. You've had some fruit stripe. Oh yeah, I know. No, this is really. Oh my God, are you kidding? This is. Now you want to know something?
all my joy has turned to ashes.
I know. My mouth, it's bitter. One of the things that I love best, and you guys I know have enjoyed this with me, when the Tuttle brothers are out and they insult each other, like back and forth from the back of the room, front of the room. TD, you're nodding at me. You know, dude, there's something.
Oh yeah.
There is something about two brothers fighting that is just wonderful. Did you know that Patton Oswalt had a brother?
Yeah, I love
this. Matt Oswalt posts, "If you think this show's tickets are expensive, you should see him at Thanksgiving. He charges $1,000 for a 5-minute Zoom with the entire family. And no matter how big the name tag I wear, he still calls me Mark." Total ripoff. And Patton has retweeted it with, "Shut up, Marty." Oh, it gives me joy.
Marty.
Oh, it just gives me joy, man. Oh my God. All right, and you're like, maybe I should do something a little bit wholesomer. This is from Savage Chickens, a cartoon by Doug Savage. You have a chicken sitting in front of a computer, and it says, "An error has occurred. I'm saying this in the passive voice to avoid taking any personal responsibility." I was like, wait, can you do that? Is that legit? I'm going to do that all the time. A joke has failed to create laughter in this audience. I'm saying it that way.
Yes, you just got to be like, yeah, the show wasn't great tonight. And just don't mention that you were one of the performers.
I was the only performer. And all right, moving on. Science humor has posted yet another reason why we deserve extinction. And this is a back and forth exchange that's been captured. Man is saying, "All I've ever wanted from a yogurt is to know who the cows are." And on the side of the yogurt are listed the names: Myrtle, Letty, Root, Irma, Fanny, Julia, etc. And Raza at St. Rose Cherry has replied, "Notice how they named all the cows traditionally girl names. There is a deep connection between misogyny and consuming animals." To which Connor Bax replies, "I feel like yogurt from a bull wouldn't taste quite right." I got about 3-4 more before I hand it back to you, Michael. Friend of the show, Vermin Supreme. Vermin, thanks for all the cards and letters. He replies, "Please read the fine print." To Ivy Ray Blossom's post, "America, land of the free. Terms and conditions may apply."
Yep.
It's like, oh, that needs a little C or a little R or a little TM, man. Like, because yes.
Mm-hmm.
America, my brand. This one's a picture of a cat watching fireworks, and it's captioned, "My cat watching the fireworks while your bitch-ass dog hides under the bed." I posted this a lot. People kept posting, "My dog's hiding under the bed." And I was like, "Here's my cat." I don't even have a cat. I wanted to say bitch-ass dog. Got 2 more here. Oh, good.
I love shitting on dogs. I do, man.
I do think it's funny, man, because like, I'm gonna toss out one of my little theories here, because why not? It's our podcast. I have this theory that that men who like dogs, men that are dog people, they want a woman that's like that dog. Runs up to them at the door, you know what I mean? Hey, honey, how you been? What's happening? Oh my gosh, I'm just so full of unconditional love for you. You know what I mean? It's like, whereas I'm a cat person, man, you gotta earn it. You got to know what you're doing. It takes a combination of techniques. You got to be a smart.
And also, sometimes it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Like, you can do all the right things, and my cat will seriously just walk by me and look at me like, "Go fuck yourself," and then walk right away. And I'm like, I did not deserve that, but like, I get it.
Yeah.
you have a lot going on right now. It's a lot more complex.
Yeah. And you know the thing too, like when you've done all the right things,
He has 5 dogs.
you're the nicest guy in the world, and like your cat is like nearby and just like reaches out and just tags you, like can draw blood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I think that guys that are dog people are attracted to women that are sort of dog-like in that way that I don't like. And I think that me being a cat person is because I'm attracted to crazy women.
And it says cats are for single people. And I do want to say that what you haven't named here is, what about gay men who have dogs?
Oh, good point.
Because they're not attracted to women at all.
Yeah. All right, I have to work on this one. I have to work out my rainbow. We need like a whole like quadrant. Like this is gonna be a whole graph. You're a librarian. You can figure it out. Well, I'm gonna have to do polling and crowdsourcing with you guys, so look forward to it. This is all Michael's fault when you're being asked how gay this situation is and how dog-like this scenario is. No, I need it on the color chart. Where is it on the color chart? We're graphing this. All right, moving on. Brandon Burns at Burns Brandon says, new rule. You can't tell me when life begins when you don't even know when an election is over.
Yes.
And finally, my last for this wholesome round and one of my favorites for this week, we have a picture of Senator Lindsey Graham in a coming out ball gown like he's going to the cotillion, and he just looks so fancy. And it says, Ms. Lindsey Graham of the Southern Carolina Grahams will be making her debut at the Atlanta Grand Jury. Suitors now being asked to prepare for the event. Oh my God. Dude, I just love the open secret for South Carolinians with their, right-wing, conservative, good Christian values. Lindsey Graham, a rich, powerful senator who's still single because he hasn't met the right woman.
Yeah, listen, whatever the fuck the GOP has on Lindsey Graham, it must be good, because how he has changed since John McCain died. I think John McCain must have been the only one not allowing them to release to hold that video over Lindsey Graham's head. And as soon as John McCain was gone, Lindsey didn't have any more protectors. This is I'm start kicking off round 2. This is a picture of Danny DeVito in a blonde, like a Sia wig, and it just says Phoebe Bridgers.
Nice.
Here's a picture of Jimmy Carter on top and a picture of Donald Trump below. The picture of Jimmy Carter, he's smiling and he just looks really sweet. And he's outside a construction site. It says, I spent decades building homes for the poor, yet conservative Christians hate me. And then there's a picture of Donald Trump and he's sneering. And it says, I've spent decades kicking poor people out of their homes, yet conservative Christians adore me.
Ugh. Yeah.
Just true. Mondaire Jones, friend of the show, Mondaire Jones. We love what you're doing out there. He's got a picture of like a really futuristic society, and I don't know, there's like floating cars and a Space Needle looking type thing, some sort of biodome, and it says society if we finally expanded the Supreme Court.
I love this.
Bill Corbett has a picture of Brett Kavanaugh, butt chug Brett Kavanaugh, butt chug Brett Kavanaugh, and he's making the face like he just smelled vinegar. He's making a kind of a rat face.
I think it's a naked mole rat face.
Yeah, it's like this is more of a sneer even than what Donald Trump. Maybe this is just the conservative sneer, and it says, "You ruined my special steak time." This week, some protesters stood outside of the restaurant he was at. He never even actually saw them, but he did have to leave out the back before his dessert. He took away the right to privacy for an entire fucking nation, but he didn't get his dessert.
Yeah.
Mike Drucker says conservatives love to pretend they are bastions of edgy masculinity, and then they melt down if someone is mean to them while they're having a parfait. Here's a picture of a real American. He's got an American hat, American flag on his hat, and he's got an American goatee, and he's holding a shirt with an AR-15 on it, and it says, I lubricate my AR-15 with liberal cum.
Ew.
This is one of those that's maybe not quite the burn you think it is. I sort of sounds like you're jerking off a whole bunch of liberals, but
yeah. Oh,
there's a picture of a guy in a cowboy hat and a Canadian tuxedo suit, and it says, I only care about 3 things: trucking, fucking, and chili dog sucking. Talk to me about anything else and I'll shove your boot up my ass.
You know, I didn't read that your boot up my ass. And you guys were passing this around. I saw this thing 3-4 times. I didn't quite get it. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's really what makes the whole fucking meme. I'll shove your boot up my ass. All right, I think I have 2 more. This is so this I just had to snag. It was a picture of, like, on Twitter, whenever you go to what's trending, it'll just show you like a list of things that are trending right now.
Mm-hmm.
The first one here is activate the Queen was trending, and that's because there was something in Parliament. Too many people resigned at the same time. It created a constitutional crisis, and once that happened legally, then they defer to the Queen. And so somebody tweeted that this would activate the Queen, and of course Twitter thought that was fucking hilarious. For some other reason, because of marijuana, they were saying, like, someone had said that the guy who shot up the parade in Highland Park was due to his marijuana use. Oh. And so people were saying, the shooter smokes marijuana, or Willie Nelson also smokes marijuana. Like, it's not like people who smoke weed are violent. But these two taken together says activate the Queen or Willie Nelson. And I just had an idea for a new country. two more. Salad Dazed says, my body is my journal and my tattoos are my story. My body is my journal and my tattoos are my story. And here we have a picture of a man checking out at a gas station with no shirt on. And across his shoulders, he has tattooed the word cheese. And across his tramp stamp, he has tattooed the word burger. His story is cheeseburger. And actually, I think, I'm gonna end my round there, and we're back to you, Eric, for round 2.
Round 2, the
Electric Boogaloo.
Often irreverent round, I think is what we got. I got about a dozen here. Stole this one from friend of the show, George Cruikshank. George, we love your memes. He's reposted Daniel Cook, who's got a picture of Ben Stein holding up Clear Eyes, and Daniel Cook says, this guy saved a lot of kids from going home and getting their ass whooped.
Yes, most certainly did.
Thank you, Ben.
Love you, Ben Stein.
Thank you, Ben Stein. So recurring segment of our show is called the C word. And what that normally entails is that about Thursday, I get nervous because I don't have enough material for this show. And I'm like, oh, man, I need to just troll some people with some clickbait. And I used to use the C word crypto. And then every once in a great while, I'd use capitalism. And I can also use communism. But any of the C words guaranteed to gin up quite the conversation. So this week, here we go. This is a fun one. Great Socialist Cat Memes posts the Star Trek communist who says the fact that it's much easier to talk about being a communist in polite small talk with friends, family, neighbors, and coworkers is a huge development objectively, and one that should give revolutionary Marxists everywhere tremendous optimism and inspiration. And there's like 727 reactions on this. People losing their mind and parsing absolutely every single word. So, this is going to be a recurring segment of my irreverent round this week in the C word. This is posted from this is the worst thing I've seen in at least the 6 or 7 minutes. And it is an old obituary, I believe, from a newspaper. It looks typeset like that. It says, monk dies in Greece without seeing woman. From Athens, without ever seeing a woman in the 82 years of his life, Mihalo Toloto has died in Mount Athos Monastery in Greece. Neither had he beheld an automobile, a movie, or an airplane. His mother died when he was born, Athens reports, and he was brought up in a monastery where no woman ever enters. He became a monk, and monks at the monastery gave him a special burial ceremony because they believe he was the only man in the world never to see a woman. And it is captioned, "The First Gamer."
Yeah.
George also passed.
I just want to say, it would have been better than giving him a special ceremony for never seeing a woman. Would have been fucking take him somewhere where he could have seen a goddamn woman before he died. Like that, that's the worst. I never want that ceremony for anyone.
Now I've never been in them, but I've seen these things called rooms, women's rooms.
Whoa.
I don't know this. I broke Teeny.
I think I would just go to a town. A town.
A town. On
just
Earth.
Go to a place. Yeah, just go to a place. And there's women. Yeah.
It's like 51% of the time. You are right.
Yeah.
All right, friend of the show, George has passed along this headline from CNBC: How to tell if the bear market is bottoming, according to the pros. And Raz posted this. I want to thank the singular gay that works at CNBC who managed to get this one past the editors.
Yeah. Well done. We see you. We love you.
Again, that article, if you'd like to look it up for any tips, is How to Tell if the Bear Market is Bottoming, according to the pros.
Fantastic.
I could use help with this character. This is a man from a horror movie who's emaciated and covered with intestines and veins and looks kind of gross, but he's having an iced coffee, and it says, it's from Dumb Bitch Juice. It says, me drinking this iced coffee like it's going to fix my life. I like it.
Nothing yet. This is Vecna from the newest Stranger Things. Yeah.
Ah, sweet. Excellent. Thank you. I'm holding off. Going to watch it with the kid. IFL Science, formerly I fucking love science, IFL Science, repost David G. McGee saying, remember that time some random dude in the comments on a science article disproved a mainstream theory and won the Nobel Prize for his revolutionary discovery? Yeah, me neither, Josh. So maybe consider the value of peer-reviewed data and scientific consensus next time. Thanks. Seemed funnier.
Yes. Yes, exactly. You are not Matt Damon. This is not Goodwill Hunting. You're not going to fucking just roll by with some fresh hot take. Just fuck off.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just, I cannot tell you how many folks, I've tried to, I consider myself like the conservative whisperer. Like I can engage people just long enough to like maybe get a point through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like, I kind of try, and I don't know how to get the peer review dealio through. I'm not quite sure, but I keep trying.
I whisper about conservatives.
Follow up on that was very popular on my page is the 2-panel from Family Guy, where the daughter, who's labeled personal opinion, is screaming, "You guys always think you're better than me." And then across the room, her family are dressed in tuxedos and, evening gowns, and they're labeled peer review, verifiable truths, empirical evidence.
Yes. Oh my God.
Like, yeah, actually, we do. But look, they're not saying anything. That's the funniest thing. Their mouths are closed. They're just,
They're just being better than you.
Just be.
So,
And I will, of course, try to get this one onto the Facebook for the Blind, FB for TB, a weekly meme cast Facebook page. If you're not following FB for TB, a weekly meme cast page, you're missing out. Moving on, friend of the show, Rob Morphy says they used to be called Jumpalines until your mom bounced on one.
that's awesome.
Picture of a woman on a trampoline in the 70s. Oh, that was so good, man. George Cruikshank posted this picture, and I don't understand. It's a man with a gun looking at a city across a river, and it just says, "I don't want to be horny anymore. I want the end of American empire." And friend of the show from last week's episode said, "But I'm so horny." And I was just like, God, do I fucking know? Did you guys start an orgy after I left last night? There were literally drunk girls dancing, grinding, twerking, rolling, hugging all over each other. And it was like, and Kristen said, well, a woman never kisses and tells. And I was like, you don't have to tell me. I watched you work out. I was filming it. You were stretching. I get it. You know what I mean? You don't want to orgy your way into a pulled hammy. But it was like, I'm certain if you put that much effort into it, you went through with it. All inspired by whatever this is. Return of the pleb. I don't want to be horny anymore. I want the end of American empire. There we go. Moving on, a friend of the show, Workers' Party of Massachusetts, making their first show on the telecast. Posts Robert Schultz saying, my boss was like, people working from home are just pretending to work. And it's like, dude, what do you think I'm doing in the office?
Yeah.
And people were talking about all kinds of different, thoughts on management and whatnot. But I was just like, yeah, management needs you to come back to the office so Kyle can measure your bathroom breaks. Kyle's upper management's son, and he makes six figures, so he's got a clipboard.
I gotta say, man, when I was, you get really creative in the Army because, I was a specialist, so you don't have any fucking power, and so, but you're also the only one who knows how to do the fucking job. So you're the working class, as a specialist, you're right in the middle, and of working, there's so many people above you, but anyway, I had this boss who he didn't like that he couldn't see me at my desk enough. And he was like, he's like, you're out working everybody. Like your numbers are great, but I need you to let me know if you're going to leave your desk. And I was like, you don't want that. He's like, yeah, I need to know where you're at. And I was like, okay. And so I would just send him an email all day long.
I'm going to go take a dump.
Yeah, I'm going to take a dump. And then, hey, I'm back from taking a dump, and I'm going to smoke a cigarette. And then, hey, I'm back from smoking a cigarette. Hey, I'm going to go over and talk to Sanchez. Sanchez wasn't at his desk. Dude, it was one fucking day, and he was like, don't do that anymore. I don't care what you do. Just fucking don't ever do this to me again.
Oh my God. All right, moving back to the show. Beautifully done, beautifully executed, by the way. Moving back to the show, one of my favorites from the week. Occupy Democrats reposts Catherine Valente. Jeannie, you have 3 wishes. Me, I make Mitch McConnell a real turtle and leave him in a dry kiddie pool in rural Kentucky on the hottest day of summer, and his owner is Sid from Toy Story. Jeannie, okay, that one's on me. You still have 3 wishes.
That's a great idea.
Liked it. All right. This next one is from Damian Crisp, who says, the U.S. isn't even a country. It's just 3 corporations in a trench coat.
That's awesome.
It's very good. By the way, too, I noticed Kookie's, the guy that posted, his name is half Arabic, but it's written as @Shawarmakami. Like Shawarmakami. Yeah. Nice. Friend of the show, Shawarmakami. Rolls off the tongue. 2 more and handing it back to you. The other 90%, 98% post to all the women supporting Roe being overturned. I hope your husband's side chick gets pregnant. And last for this round, I think, is over in Amy Sedaris. And if you're not following Amy Sedaris, you are truly missing out. Interviewer, what do you think is your worst quality? Me, I'm probably too honest. Interviewer, that's not a bad thing. I think being honest is a good quality. Me, I don't really give a shit what you think. Oldie but a goodie, still true today.
All right, I'm kicking off round 3. It's our penultimate round. Comedy does come in 3s. That's why at this show we do 4. This is the picture of a handmade sign that looks like it's on the outside of a door that, I don't know, maybe a concession stand or something. It says, "All girls with long hair must be tied up. Thank you." And that's signed Debbie.
Nice.
I think it means that their hair must be tied up.
Yeah.
But it sounds sexual. Don Bruner at Don Bruner 5 says, "Fun fact, power dynamics didn't exist in Bible times." You'll see this one's liked by me. So this weird Christian Twitter thing happens every, like, I don't know, it's like 3 times a year. Christian Twitter and conservative Christian Twitter. So like weird Christian Twitter, which is the progressive, and the conservative Christian Twitter, which is the awful reform people, they all argue about David and Bathsheba. Because the leftist Christians say, like, David raped Bathsheba, because you have to understand power dynamics. He's the king, she was a peasant. And then the Republican, they are all Republican, but the conservative Christians, the Reformed and Baptist people, they go, "No, David murdered Uriah, but he didn't rape Bathsheba." And they go, like, "Well, what are you even fucking trying to do here? Like, why are you trying to keep that one away? What do you have at stake here? Like, listen, this is power dynamics." So Don Bruder says, that's okay. Power dynamics, they just didn't exist in Bible times. Which the best part about this was, like, some pretty big names thought that he was serious and they went after him. No, he's clearly joking here.
Oh my God.
This is a picture of a very, very, like, sexy Daisy Duck. Hands behind her head, eyelashes on point, hip and tail are out, just working it. And in many different colors, it says, "Nothing is more sexy than being high all the time. Hopefully, because I'm always fucking high."
Nice.
All right, here we go. Listen, I want you to know this. I took this personally. This says, quote, "Girls only listen to Oi to fuck guys in the scene," end quote. And then it says, "the guys in the scene." And you have some pictures of, like, Spirit of 69, original skins from Bristol. They're both shaved heads, missing teeth. One's wearing wire rim glasses, and he just looks like a super fucking ugly nerd.
They look like
the other one.
They look like personified Oi. Is what it
Yeah, they really do. The one on the left is like chess playing Oi punk, and the one on the right, I'll be honest, I think he kind of looks like me with bigger ears. He's got one, like, droopy eye like me. He looks rough. He's missing a front tooth, which, by the way, most of my front teeth are fake. And he's lifting his shirt where he has the like Oi punk skinhead being crucified. It's a really, really classic tattoo, and he's got it tattooed right on his chest. They just both look like trash. And it's a fucking so true. Like, so true, and hurts. All right, this says, "This ride only stops in an emergency." And there's a picture of Goofy down at the bottom. It says, "This ride only stops in an emergency. Crying is not an emergency." Here's a picture of vegetable soup with a ladle in it, and it says, "Who remember vegetable?" Here we have a two-panel meme. On the top is a woman driving, it looks like I'm guessing a Porsche. I would guess this is a Porsche, a silver Porsche. And she's wearing a very, very smart pantsuit and very high heels. And the car is definitely stuck in the mud. And there's a huge mud puddle. And it looks like she's trying to shut the door. She's standing in mud in her heels, and it says, "City girls be like, we took the wrong road." And then the next one is just a truck plowing through mud, and it says, "Country girls be like, slide over, I'm on heroin." It's classist, but it's funny. Here's a picture of two cops, and they're being coppy, and they're looking like cops, and there's a cop fascist flag above them, and they're holding a big piece of cardboard, and superimposed on the cardboard it says, "We came here to beat our wives and harass homeless people, and we're all out of wives."
Oh, dang.
Oh,
My
that's fucking true. All right, two more memes for me. This is two pictures of a hamster. The first is a picture of a hamster literally like hungrily licking glass, and it says, "Me when I'm eating pussy and ass." And then the next is a picture of a hamster with its little paws tucked up, and it's like ah, like screaming and like freaked out, and it says, "Me when an apple has that brown mushy spot."
Oh God.
Some sort of double standard at work here.
Indeed.
My last meme for this round by Kendra Jackson at B Big Booty Judy says, "Porn hit different once you nut. Turn this filthy shit off." And that is it for me for round 3, the penultimate round. For our post with the most, back to you, Eric.
All right. Getting right back to it as quick as I can. Facebook for the blind, round 3. Only got a couple of them here. Before we get to our post with the most. The unofficial captain reposts Olivia Campbell saying, "I mean, the scariest thing the men who wrote Alien 1979 could think of was a living thing taking up residence in your torso and then bursting out of you." me and 1.6 billion other people were like, "Yeah, that is pretty fucking frightening, really." That's agreed. Wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Moving on, ouch, right into childhood is post on Bob Wolfov, who says, "What scared me at age 8? Quicksand, snakes, the boat scene from Willy Wonka. What scares me now? Dying alone, the boat scene from Willy Wonka." Friend of the show, JD Grieving, reposts the cackling witch who says, "A gay person exists in a movie, and religious people, they are forcing their lifestyle on us." Also religious people, and it's 2 Mormons at your door. They are forcing it with their little ties. This next one I posted with the caption "Guillotines," and the headline is, "Rising prices are derailing my castle renovation." Hey, I got a new sound effect here. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's a very, very tiny violin. Listen. Oh, it's so tiny. Oh my God.
Perfect.
Yeah, and people immediately began commenting that, yeah, these people that are doing this kind of crap and buying castles, doing renovations, are jacking up rents, jacking up prices, and affecting all of our ability to pay rent. You know what I mean? Oh, are you gonna have to do without an extra turret? Turret, right?
Oh my God.
Mike Hudson, friend of the show, passes on, "Alien graffiti can be pretty hurtful," and it's a shipping container that's got "Earth boring" written on it. Pretty good. Friend of the show, Craig Smith says, "Never heard." Reposts the best and worst of Twitter too. We have Snark Tank, who says, "A woman flipped me off and honked at me in the McDonald's drive-thru because I was taking too long to order. So I paid for her food. And when I got to the food window, I showed them both receipts and I took her food. Not today, Satan." Worked for me. All right.
That's fantastic.
Friend of the show, Christian Yanakis, repost "True." and just a panel that says, "Love when guys ask how big my tits are, as if men have any idea what bra sizes mean. I could tell a guy I'm a WD-40 and he'd be like, oh my God, so hot." I love how all the men are like nodding their heads, and like Emma's just like, oh my God. Well, when men offer to go back to your place and try on your bras, what do you say, Emma? All right, let's.
No, listen, here's what it is. They can make fun all they want, but we're just happy to be here. That's all it is. I'm just happy to be here, happy to be talking about it. Like I don't need. Yeah, it's really, you're right. It does, whatever you say after that doesn't matter. We're just glad we're talking.
Yep.
This is nice. Isn't it nice? Us talking about your tits. This is nice.
Those are those are two of my favorite things to begin with T. Talking.
Yeah.
And moving on.
You could make fun of me for it in the moment, and I'd be like, I'm still loving this.
Yeah.
This is all right.
This one actually had a great deal of engagement on my page, and I'm not going to read all of it to you because it was one of these multi-panel, tweet threads. But it said, if any of you, this is from Sim Kern, posting it at Sim_Kern, who says, if any of you are under the impression that our billionaires might succeed in escaping to space while the world burns, let me put those fears to rest with what I know from being the spouse of a NASA flight controller. And it goes on to detail the thousands of people that it takes to keep all of these guys alive in a metal tube where they don't shower for months. And then when they go poo, they stick a vacuum cleaner in their butt. And sometimes it doesn't work, but sometimes they end up snorting poo. So the next time you think maybe, Branson or Elon Musk or one of these guys could make it, could escape to space, just remember, poop vacuum up their butt. Anyway, I think a lot of other people enjoyed my schadenfreude on that. So that was one of my posts with the most. And with that, I'm going to hand it back to you, Michael, sir.
Right. Post with the most. Here we go. My post with the most this week was a retweet by Cloudy at oncloud_e. Make it a quote. She says, and there's just a picture of Cloudy, and she says, curling up into a ball before making a series of squeaks and sneezes, locking eyes, and pouncing on you, saying, I have clinical depression. That's like a whole fucking generation right there in one tweet.
I was really surprised. I posted today, hey, tweet about your favorite antidepressant. Mine's caffeine. And nobody responded. I was like, wow, I thought I'd get a whole bunch of fun drug. The kids, man, they haven't taught me any good drug knowledge.
They just haven't taught us the algorithm. That's all. And just nobody saw it for some reason.
Maybe so. All right, getting on to my post with the most. Actually, I had a couple of them that kind of tied. This one got a great deal of debate. This is a picture of Ronald Reagan saying, we establish no religion in this country. We command no worship. We mandate no belief, nor will we ever. Church and state are and must remain separate. Ronald Reagan. And tons of people commented on the hypocrisy of St. Reagan in today's GOP. But the one that actually got technically the very most was the 3-panel from Inception, where the boss man saying, well, Mr. Leftist, if we're removing Confederate statues, maybe we should remove Obama statues. The Christian Bale character is responding, that's fine. He drone bombed civilians. I don't give a shit.
Yes.
and
we don't worship our politicians.
No, and it spawned really intelligent discussion and lots of people going back and forth. And I got to explain tribalism, which I discovered once again is an actual freaking term in politics. It just means team spirit. It just means, like, if you were trying to convert a Cubs fan, how impossible that would be. And what it blows me away too is it's like, when I say Cubs fan, what blows me away as a non-sports guy is that I can change the city where a team is. I can change the coach. I can change all the players. I can change really literally anything about it. And people still have this team spirit. just like our political parties. You know what I'm saying? Like you could change anything, and as long as the flag is the right color and the jersey matches, rah rah, system. Anyway, but it turns out that loyalty is actually something that conservatives have, but liberals actually value things like truth and honesty. And I always point out, like, look at G. Gordon Liddy, or look at Oliver North. They're both making six figures on Fox News. They were, you know, they were both lying, cheating criminals who stole things, but Fox is like, oh, well, they love them. Why? Because they were loyal to their presidents in some capacity. Then look at Al Franken. Al Franken got shit canned over a joke with a photograph, and we did it, and we like Al Franken.
Yeah, and we even knew that the woman who was making the allegations was literally a paid operative. Like we knew this, and it was still like, well, we were like, yeah, but it was a bad joke.
Yeah,
get the fuck out of there.
And we're all like, you know, I don't know, man. It says not only to avoid evil, but to avoid the appearance of evil. And, you know, yeah, why do we always come down on that side? We always come down.
Should have been funnier, Franken. I'm still not defending his ass. Should have been funnier. And, you know, you tried to take the cheap way out. And when you did, you kind of did a harassment. And you know, too bad.
Yep.
Got to be funny all the time.
Yep. And woke funny-ish, sort of. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Low bar is never funny, man, unless it's about poop or farts or boners.
The big money is in the dick and fart jokes. Agreed.
Yeah, dude, boners are funny. I don't care.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much an episode of Facebook for the Blind for July 12th, 2022.
Love you, George.
Thanks for listening to an episode of Facebook for the Blind. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.